thing who are and aren't skilled to receive.
I want to start that over because I like what you say in the beginning.
Teaching me about budgeting my energy.
This life is about growth. You ain't growing. I don't know what to tell you. If you've been checking into the light room, you should be growing. Get on in here. Little energy budget right quick. Budget. That's how you get started in this finance game. You got to have a budget. So go ahead. Check in with your green heart, okay? Check in with your green heart. Go ahead and share the live. Get your people on here, all right? I don't like to bring my guests into an empty room. Let's get it hype. Hope y'all had a good weekend. I had a great weekend. Woo. Had to get some restoration today, some sleep. But I'm good. It's Monday. Again, I don't care what hair still be hairing, right? Don't care what be going on, right? When Monday comes, we open up the light room, we're here. So check in with your green hearts. Go ahead and share the live. I hope you have your questions, your comments, your concerns ready. Let me tell you something. She was tagged in one of the comments when I asked for financial advisors for this series, and she set up an appointment so we could talk, have a little discovery call, see who she is, see who I am. Let me tell you something. Just get ready. You see the energy in this song? Just get ready. I like when people come in a real space and have real talk about real stuff. And you know that's what we do in the light room. My mom in the light room, because it's Monday. That's where she is on Mondays. Hey, LaCantress. Jovanna is here. I need y'all in here so I can bring her in so we can go ahead and get this conversation started. This is September. We're wrapping up. We're ending the financial literacy piece, right, of Mental Health Mondays, finances and mental health. And we're going to end it with this beautiful soul on economically empowering families, right? We'll talk about it. But right now, go ahead. Check in with your green heart. Share the live. Go ahead and get your notebook. If you have young children, get your children on this live. We have to start including our children sooner rather than later in our conversations. And Dunn said that last Monday. We got to start talking about these things at the kitchen table. The sooner we can teach them about money, even if we don't know, let us having to teach them be the reason that we learn, right? We're not victims in this situation. We all grew up some type of way. But now that we're grown, right, we have agency and we can make a choice. I'm glad you chose to be in the light room tonight, where we educate, empower, and equip the African American community, Black and brown communities. Too many things going on. I had a real good time this weekend. Let me turn the music down so I can get myself together. But that was Energy Budget by, what's her name? Tony Jones. I like that song. Helps with your mood and it gets your mind right, okay? Because your energy is connected to your finances. I think it was Lawrence McFarlane today that said negative people have negative bank accounts. All right, so get that energy budget up. Be careful who you allow in your space. And it ain't all about the money, but if it don't make whatever. Check in with your green hearts. I'm going to go ahead and put my headphones in because we're not going to even go through that, right? We have some things we need to cover. This is the last Monday in September 26th. Finances and mental health, financial literacy. We're having a conversation. My goal here is to always make it safe, make it healthy, and make it resourceful, right? For us to talk about mental health. And mental health includes our emotional, our physical, our psychological, anything that affects us in that way. Our ability to make decisions and interact with other people. And that includes our money decision, right? You ever felt bad and be like, well, let me go buy myself something to make me feel better. And then once you get over that feeling and look at your bank statement or your credit card statement and realize, I probably shouldn't have bought that. Now you feel bad again. Now you see why we're talking about finances and mental health, okay? Hey, Stancy. Hey, Olivia. Dunn in the house. Mr. Webb, how are you, sir? So go ahead and check in with your green hearts. We've set the room. Remember, I am Marquita Dorsey, mental health advocate and coach. I am not a licensed therapist. I don't make any diagnosis. But what I've done in this space is created a safe space to facilitate conversations. I've started bringing in the people who do the work, right? So when they come telling you what they're telling you, it's because they know. She is not a newbie in this game. She's been in this thing a long time. So the people that come into the light room know what they're talking about. So go ahead and share the live, right? Put it in your group text and your messenger chats. Send it to your mama, your uncle, brother, cousin, whoever needs to be here. Whoever been borrowing money from you because they can't budget their own. That's who you send this live to. You ain't got to put all that in there. Just say, hey, cousin, friend, I think you should look at this. All right. Check in with your green hearts. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to go ahead and connect her. It is 8:10 so that we can have plenty of time for this conversation. Already got my head. Don't worry about the audio issues because I'm ready tonight. Shout out to Shawtown for an amazing weekend, to Tequila and Crystal and everybody who was in attendance. I appreciate you for that. Y'all know how it is when you're doing stuff in your
Hello,
uh,
hello,
hometown.
hello.
Hey, hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? How are
I
you?
am well. I am well. So can you hear me good?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Cool deal. So I already have my headphones in. Usually we would do an audio test for feedback because sometimes for whatever reason I get a little feedback, but
Should
I'm
I put
already ready.
mine in?
I don't think so. Usually when I put mine in, that clears up the echo and whatever feedback we get. So we
Okay,
should be
cool.
good. We should be good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
All right. So again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Light Room. All right. It's Monday after 8:05 Central Standard Time. The Light Room, the light is on. We're flipping switches. We're making it again safe, healthy, and resourceful, right? You know, sometimes you start having conversation with people and they just do a lot of talking. You walk away with no answers, no solutions, no
Mm,
resources, or nothing. I hate those conversations, right?
man,
And they mess with your energy budget. You walk away broke in spirit and in money. So
right.
hope y'all have your notepad because you're going to get some resources in here tonight. And we're definitely
That's
going to touch on
right.
something that's very important. September is Suicide Prevention Month, Suicide Awareness Month. Let me go ahead. Again, this is the last Monday for Mental Health Monday in this month, but Suicide Prevention Month, 988 is suicide hotline and it's also crisis hotline. They don't
Mm,
have to know you personally, but they're trained to hear what you're going through, what you're experiencing, and help you get connected to the resources so that you can live another day. Your life matters. I know it's tough.
that's
I
right.
know financial woes is, like Crandall said, one of the number one reasons for suicide and homicide. The money might be low today, but you can wake up tomorrow and have this big dream, this big thing, and it change your life. You'll be an instant millionaire. Or you can wake up, listen to Mental Health Monday, hear some stuff from Miss Hamilton, and get out, take agency of your life, get connected to the right opportunity, and then you'll have what you need. So I just
That's
want to
right.
make sure I highlight that September is suicide prevention, suicide awareness month, and suicide prevention. If you're having suicidal ideation, thoughts, feelings, if you have a family member or friend experiencing that, 988. All right. September is also Life Insurance Awareness
You
Month,
better
right?
talk about it.
It's also Life Insurance Awareness
Yes,
Month.
it
Now I
is.
know sometimes in the culture, man, we don't trust the life insurance people. We don't trust the
You
insurance
know,
man.
you
When I was
know,
growing up, it's the insurance man. Here come the insurance man.
absolutely. Absolutely. Knocking on my grandma's door in the
Exactly.
three-piece suit in the summertime. I didn't trust that, Marquita. I didn't like that.
Why they had to have on the whole suit, bro? It's
The
hot out
whole
here.
suit in the summertime. It's
The
all good.
whole suit. So we ain't running from the insurance man or woman anymore,
That's
right?
right.
We're in the light room. We're in this space so that we can learn, right? So we
That's
can be
right.
educated. And when you're
Mm-hmm.
educated, you're empowered. You can make a conscious decision. You can make a
Mm-hmm.
logical and a real decision for yourself and your family. You
That's
might not
right.
need the coverage I need. You might not even know what coverage you
Mm-mm.
do need. That's why we bring
Mm-mm.
the experts in. Once you're educated and empowered, you're equipped to say, hey, Ms. Hamilton, I'm ready to get that policy. All
That's
right.
right.
So I just want
Mm-hmm.
to make sure I highlight those two things: Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and life insurance. So we're going to talk about it. So, welcome to the light room, Jovanna.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so glad to be here on tonight. Um, I just love the fact, number one, thank you for allowing me to have the platform, to reach people. I always say this, I don't care if I'm talking to two people or 200, my message and my energy is always going to be the same because we never know who needs to hear it, and
Absolutely.
this is the two most talked about topics that's always brought to me, mental health, right? And money, right? Mental and money. So what, an honor to be on, to go out in Suicide Awareness Month and Life Insurance. What isn't that ironic, right? That Suicide Awareness Month and Life Insurance Awareness Month is the same month, right? But
Same month.
I'm super, super, elated, and I'm very, very humbled to be here, to get, to talk about these two topics tonight, because both of them are so near and dear to me, in my life and in my career, so I'm excited to be here.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I like good energy. And good energy begets good
Love it.
energy, and it's
Love
gonna be a
it.
great time.
That,
You remember our phone call was supposed to be like 30 minutes,
absolutely.
but we was running all
No,
through that thing, and we still
the
needed extra
hour.
minutes. We
That's
still needed
right.
extra minutes.
That's right.
So, and that's good. And that's, you guys, if you have questions, make sure you leverage the comments. When she says something that's good, that you relate to, make sure that you show love by using your reaction. Give her a thumbs up, use the heart button, drop a green heart, put some fire in there, communicate to her, because guess what? She can read these comments too. In this
Absolutely.
community, we have to be able to support one another in whatever
Hmm.
aspect we can. You know, we're all going to die one day. None of us
Yes,
know when, none of us know how. But the worst thing that can happen is that you leave here and the people you leave behind have to clean up behind that, or they have an undue stress because you didn't take care of your business. All right.
absolutely.
And so I always start off by saying how I met my guest, and then I'll allow you to give your own personal introduction, sharing whatever you want to share with the people. So I met
Absolutely.
Jovanna again. I put out a clarion call, and I think that's real Baptist to say that, but I'm gonna say it because I'm Baptist. So I put out a clarion call for those in the financial industry to come on and
Right.
talk about it, because I'm like, September. At first, it was just September, but then when the list of names started coming, I was like, I need a whole nother month, right? And then, like Crandall pointed out, there are so many things coming up. Like every month, there's something that you have to expend a
Always.
lot of money for.
Mhm.
So taking 2 months to talk about something that's going to affect everybody in the next couple of days is
Yeah.
necessary. So her
Yeah.
name came up in the comment section as somebody to contact. We talked, set a discovery call, and that's why she here. Okay. The
Yes.
conversation I had with her on the discovery call, I'm like, girl, listen, some type of way, some type of way, you're gonna be in the light room, you're gonna be on mental health Monday. And here
Yeah.
she is. All right.
Yes, she put me in a schedule, and I appreciate that, And let's get into it, right?
Let's get into it. So is there anything that you want to, like, any way you want to introduce yourself so they'll know who you are? And
Absolutely. So guys, I'm Jovanna Hamilton. I like to call myself a financial coach, right? I don't toy around with the advisor title and things like that, but I am an insurance broker, and I am licensed and registered as a securities principal. So that means I not only do securities business, investment business, but I also manage people who do investment business and life insurance as well. My husband and I are in business together. We have a business. We specialize in helping families get on the right track financially, starting with the foundation, right? And what perfect month to talk about Life Insurance Awareness Month, but the month of September. I love the fact that we're going to go ahead and go out with a bang. But I am a mother of two. I have a 10-year-old son and a 2-year-old daughter. So my schedule is always busy. But my passion has always been, and it's ironic. I don't believe in coincidences, right? But it is ironic that you talked about economically empowering families, and that's just what we do. I'm born and raised from New Orleans, Louisiana. I didn't come from a whole lot. My mother worked a whole lot, right? But I grew up, in a system like most people. Grew up on the government assistance and things like that, and I'm never ashamed to say it, because it's not where you start, it's where you finish, right?
come on.
And I believe starting there gave me the grit to get where I am today. I believe that it opened the doors. I believe that my name was talked, spoken rooms that I never even entered. That's how I met Marquita today, and from
See,
there.
she starting already. Go ahead now. Go ahead now. Go ahead now. Go ahead now.
And from there I realized that I had a plan and God had a plan. Y'all, I originally came from a medical field background, right? I went to school 5.5 year round to become a registered nurse, only to find out that that was not what God had for me. I went back and studied pharmacology because if you kind of pay attention to the trend, I was kind of chasing the money, right? And God was chasing me, right? So, at the time, what can you don't distract me while I'm telling these people my
I'm
story,
trying to
right?
hold myself.
But at the time, my husband and I had just had my son, and he was about a year and a half old. My husband worked at the post office. He had that quote unquote good paying government job and all that kind of stuff, and I was a student. Y'all, I've been a go getter. I used to do hair on the side. I sold wraps. I kind of did it all. I was always looking, and whatever you are looking for, y'all can write this down tonight. That it's looking for you. I'm gonna say it again. Whatever you're looking for is looking for you, right?
Looking for
And
you.
so I was looking for opportunity, y'all. I wanted something. Being this little old girl that grew up in a night one from New Orleans, Louisiana, come from a single parent home, right? Both of my parents were in my life, but predominantly I had a lot of dominant female around me, right? So I saw women work. If I didn't see anything else, I saw women work. I saw women be resilient. I saw women be tough, right? And this kind of ties into where my personality and my demeanor came from, right? And y'all hold on to that. Remember, I talked about that, right? But I always saw that dominant trait in a woman. And then my dad, he also was an entrepreneur. He was a mechanic and he was self-employed for as long as I can remember. So all I knew was that in order for me to succeed in life, I had to work. And then I got through chapters of life after going to school, and I went into about $50,000 worth of student loan debt. No degree, was a college dropout. And I remember praying to God. I started working at T-Mobile, and I said, God, send me something to call my own. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way that you bless me with all these talents and attributes. There's no way that you put all of this on the inside of me, right, for me to be silent, right? I was passionate about helping people. That's why I went into the medical field. But I wanted it to make sense, right? And I want those cents to turn into dollars, right? And so with that being said, man, I was on this exact platform. When my calling, like when I got that phone call. See, a lot of times, y'all, God gives you a calling. And most of the time, pretty much 100% of the time, it's not a conference call, right? It's
You
usually
and
a
him.
one-on-one call, right? And so when I got that call and I answered, I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. I didn't second guess, right? And I believe God has a sense of humor because he took little old me, right? Who grew up in that single parent home, and the only thing I knew about money was how to get extensions on light bills and phone bills, right? Robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? Just to get by. But he took little old me and he put me in a position. So you got to understand, like when God has the calling on your life, look, just answer the phone.
Answer the
You're gonna
phone.
have favor, right? And he took a little on me. He put me in a position to economically empower people, to educate people, to put people in a position, right, to get their just due. So it doesn't matter where you come from, wherever you are right now. I don't care if your account is in the negative, you have a calling. I don't care if you got six figures in a bank account, you have a calling. I don't care if you are under the bridge and the only thing you have is your cell phone and you are on Facebook Live tonight, you have a calling, right? And so I'm here to tell you tonight. See, I get the preaching. See, that's my problem right there. I get the preaching. It's not even
I'm
Sunday,
over here
right?
like this. Go ahead.
Right. But you have a calling, right? And I thank God I answered that call, and that's what landed me, here in finances, And I'm just gonna kind of start with the foundation, Marquita, if that's okay with you, right? But if we gonna talk about money, we gonna talk about money, right? And so,
Mm-hmm.
whenever we talk about the foundation, man, you gotta always go back to the psyche, right? If we're gonna talk about mental and money, we gotta start with our thinking, right? And so the if ever you want to figure out why our people are in a situation we're in financially, you have to understand the thinking
Mm-hmm.
of people
Mm-hmm.
in our community, right? I'm not gonna give it a color situation, but just people in our community, right? I don't care if you brown, black, white, dark, just our community. If you come from a community where it's mostly people in poverty, right? And you're a person who want to bridge the wealth gap in your family, then you have to know where the thinking comes from, right? You got to start with the thinking, right? And so, if you think about the history of money in our community and how we think, you have to go all the way back to 1712. And you probably saying, Jovanna, what happened in 1712? Because Christmas is approaching, but around Christmas in 1712, right? William Lynch came to the U.S. See, I'm gonna take it back, right? Because see, it may not be Black History Month, but in order for you to understand money, in order for you to understand life insurance, you have to understand why we think the way that we think, right?
That's
so
it.
I'm gonna bring
That's
it back,
it.
right? So there's a book, and see, information is normally free, right? All you have to do is just go find it, you seek it, whatever you're looking for is looking for you, okay?
Looking for you.
Right? So in a Willie Lynch letter, aka called Making of a Slave, see, one of the things that was taught and that were drilled into us as a people, as a culture, Marquita, was that we're going to divide these people by certain things, right? We're going to turn the male against the female. See, this is why you see what you see today. We got a lot of strong Black women, right? And we have a lot of hurting Black men. See, we're not going to talk about the source of money if we don't talk about the source of the people, right? See, we're going to turn the old against the young. See, this is why you see people on social media saying them young folk and them old folk, right? It's a division, right? But see, it was already written, right? And then also they talk about light skin versus dark skin. That's another one. And so one of the tools that was used very early on, right, was the division of our people. Because if you could divide the trust amongst the culture and amongst the community, then you can divide the money. If you can divide the money, then guess what? Because see, the Bible says this, right? A double-minded mind is unstable in all his ways. Then you can divide the mental. Woo. See, if we're not walking together and talking together as a people, then we are divided.
We are divided.
And see, but see, here's what I love about, you know, the evolution of people, right? See, here's what I love about the new culture, the woke culture, right? What I love about the woke culture, right, is that, you know, for the last decade, if you kind of look at the past, because the past always give you an indication of what the future is going to look like, right? People say your past doesn't dictate your future, but pay very close attention to your past, and you're going to start paying attention. I mean, you're going to start seeing the manifestation of your future, right? So I know y'all probably saying, man, I thought this girl was a financial advisor, man. She a preacher, right?
You can't have one without the other, okay?
You can't have one without the other.
You can't have one without the other.
Calling, you gotta answer the call, right?
Answer the call.
We gonna quote that. That's gonna be the name of the live tonight, right? Answer the call, right?
Answer the call.
And so y'all gotta understand, right? roll with me, right? For the last decade, right? We have been hearing a lot of our people talk about generational wealth, right? Breaking generational curses, right? Well, you can't break a curse if you don't even know what the curse or the hex, because I'm from New Orleans, y'all. If you don't know the hex that was put on you, how you gonna break it?
I'm gonna throw this notebook. Go ahead.
Okay, you better throw it down and pass the collection plate, okay? So if we gonna talk about generational wealth, the first thing that we gotta talk about is who's actually gonna kick the knowledge to you without charging you.
Right.
See, information is free, right? See, who's teaching it without going into your pockets today? Yep. Where can you find the information for free? But see, in the same token, right? I'm not talking about anything intricate. I'm not talking about anything intricate, Marquita. I'm talking about the basics. Yeah. Who's giving us the knowledge and the wisdom? See, because if you read the Willie Lynch letter, it was implemented in our school system, in the education system. See, when he wrote that letter and he talked about how to make a slave, he said, if you do this right, it'll last for 300 years. But if you put it in the education system, it'll go on for another 50 years. So that was written in 1712. Y'all go ahead, check it. I got receipts. Go check it. Go
look, I'm looking at it. And when you said 300, I literally looked down, and that's where I said, okay, will remain efficient at least 300 years.
1712. It's 2022. We are 310 years later. Jeez. It was already predicted that if you include it in the education system, that it was going to go another 50 years. But then, see, this new generation came about, and they got woke.
They ain't going. They ain't going. The kids ain't going.
Marquita,
they ain't going.
Got woke. The people got woke. The people got woke. Like, if you think back to our childhood, and when we were told fairy tales, there was a story that was told about Sleeping Beauty, and then there was a dragon in the tower, right? And see, in order for you not to die, the dragon, the beast, has to stay asleep. But see, we're in the age of awakening, and the beast woke up, right? But see, look, the thing about people being woke, See, with social media all around us, we're getting an influx of information.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For 30 seconds, you get a message and then you become woke. Right? You can log into any Facebook, any Instagram today, right? And you got a bunch of gurus on there and they're going to wake you up.
Triggering all kinds of stuff.
But the problem is most people go back to sleep, Marquita.
Mm.
You woke for 30 seconds and then you go right back to sleep. You go right back to spending your money any kind of way. You go get the bundles and lashes, and I ain't knocking it because I get it too, right? But the reality is your priorities are messed up. See, if you don't identify, look, what's the priority versus what's urgent?
That's it.
There's a difference.
That's it.
See, see, y'all got me preaching today. See, if you're going to wake up, all I'm going to say is you got to stay up. You got to wake. If you're going to wake up, you got to stay up, right? And so I'm not just going to give y'all a bunch of information without telling you how to get there. Right. See, it's about when you wake up, okay, look, I log on to TikTok, and then I learn I learned all these things about my credit, but then nobody actually shows me how to do it.
How to do it, yep.
I log into Facebook, and they tell me I need to be my own banker with this whole infinite banking crap. But then they don't tell you how to do it. They don't tell you how you got to put thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars a month. Like, this is America, Jack. Listen, this is America. Let me help you out. Look, I'm in finances. I sit down with people, and I'm dealing with their money every single day. Not some days, every day, even on a Sunday, okay? And see, here's what I realized. I realized that for the vast majority of Americans, not just people that look like us, they're dealing with financial issues. Well, how do you fix it? You fix the thinking, you fix the mental, you fix the education.
That's it.
Behind the way we think about money. Well, how do we fix that? We have to first know the agenda that came to fruition. We have to know the history in order, right, to be the eyes in the future, right? So when the solution is starting with the foundation, man. What a wonderful time to be alive right now, right? What a wonderful month to be in, because it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. And so if we fix the way that we think, we get rid of the financial bondages and the mental bondages. See, I was listening to a sermon from my pastor, a pastor that I listened to on Facebook from back at home, right? Because I moved from home 2 years ago, right? And one of the things he was talking about was the rise on mental illness, okay? And just a little bit more about my background. Right before I got into finances, one of the last jobs I worked at, like I was telling you, was in mental health care, right? I was the office manager, I'm not going to name the company, right? For a company that was in New Orleans downtown, right? And I worked as the office manager, right? So I saw a lot. Mm-hmm. I saw a whole lot. And I saw how they had a lot of social workers and psychiatrists, and they were just giving medicinal remedies. No real therapy, no real substance, no real solution. And I started, and it got me really aware to the what pharmaceuticals were doing, but I'm not gonna touch on that because they might end our lives, right? When it comes down to our people, that they're pumping a lot of drugs in our system, which are causing other issues, right?
Absolutely.
But
man,
right, and y'all, spirits and energy is real. Let me tell y'all something, because right after I started working there, I dealt with my very first panic attack, right? So my very first panic attack, and as you guys know, a panic attack is the non-clinical diagnosis for anxiety attack, right? And so I told y'all my history of my family and stuff like that. And so me coming from that strong, dominant female type environment and things like that, we don't show weakness. We don't show hurt. We don't cry. We bottle everything up. You got to be the strong person. You got to be the strong friend. When I went to college, I was the strong friend. You see, when I started dating, I was the strong girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
I'm the strong mama. I'm the strong leader, right? You don't cry. You don't show hurt.
Man.
But see, I didn't realize that it was bottling up. And I didn't realize the amount of stressors that I was internalizing. And that was my first face-to-face relationship with mental health in my own life. And see, I remember being on the live recently, right? Um, and one of the things that the pastor said that, mental illness goes both ways, right? Some people are not dealing with mental illnesses, right? Some people are not dealing with clinical illnesses. They're dealing with situational illnesses,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so there are some people who are really clinically mentally ill, and then there's pretty much a vast majority of the people today that's spiritually and situationally ill. For instance,
Spiritually and
uh-huh,
situationally.
uh-huh,
Hmm.
uh-huh.
Hmm.
So for instance, you know, um, I dealt with something personal recently, right? And I had to get through it. It took a lot of mental toughness to get through this particular situation recently, right? And I realized whatever you're seeking, you're gonna find. Whatever you're
Mm-hmm.
looking for is looking for you, right? And I remember laying in my bed and I said, God, I was talking to God, right? I said, listen, if you hear me up there, and I know you do, because you are everywhere, I need you to fix me in this season. Point me in a direction so I can begin the process of healing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna circle it back to your money, right? And so I started reading, right? Because knowledge is power, but
It is.
applied knowledge is power, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one of the books I read, I actually have it right here. I read about 5 books like within the last month or so. But I read this book, Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza.
Oh, I
And it
love
talks
him.
about how to lose your mind and create a new one. And
I
see, when we
love Joe
lose our mind,
Dispenza.
like, wait, I gotta go crazy. No, how to lose your mind, the mind that you have that's keeping you in poverty, the mind that you have that's keeping you stressed out, the mind that you have that's triggering your anxiety, the mind that you have that keeps you in a cycle of negative self-talk. That mind, how to lose that mind and create a new one, right? That gets you to where you want to be financially, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, so on and so forth, right? And so after I read that, another book I read was Shad Hamstetter, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And then another one was, it's another one that he did, but it was like some about negative self-talk, something. Y'all could look it up on Amazon, y'all. Look it up
Look,
on
I'm on
Amazon,
Amazon
follow
right
me.
now, like, cause I'm need that
Yeah,
Joe
so
Dispenza
just
book.
type in Shad Hamstetter, absolutely. And so this one was really good because this one talked about um how to change your mind from a neurological standpoint and how to evolve and actually
Got it.
teach you how to meditate and all that other kind of stuff, right? And then the other ones talked about how to pay attention and enhance your file cabinets because the way that we think was taught. We didn't wake up and we weren't born thinking the way that we think. It was situational and environmental. You are a product of your environment, but you don't have to stay that way.
That's it.
Okay. So, after I read those particular books, it really, really opened my eyes up and made me conscious of the way that I think, we think, because you can usually tell a way that a person thinks based on the way that they speak, what they're saying. You know exactly what person are because I'm the one that sits back and I kind of read energy. And I don't know New Orleans voodoo stuff because I am from New Orleans, but I'm just saying like I'm very heavy on energy because energy is neither created nor destroyed, it's simply transferred. And people don't realize that when they walk into a room, so does their energy.
That's it. That's
And
it.
for a person who's aware and a person who's woke, and they're aware of their energy and they're secure in it, they can feel it even when you're trying to fake it, right? And so I understood that because where I'm from right now, the crime rate is at an all-time high. It always has been in New Orleans, right? And I'm in Houston now, and the crime rate is in the high at an all-time high in the city of Houston. And if you look at the trends right now with inner city areas and just in cities, you're in Tennessee right now, all these different type of things, you realize that it's kind of a cycle. It's cycling through the whole United States
Yeah.
of America today, right? And it's because people are situationally ill,
Yeah.
mentally ill right now.
That's
And
so
what I
good.
mean by that is y'all probably saying, Jovanna, what you mean? Well, if people had the means to pay their bills and to live a little, maybe go out, hang out with some friends, catch a movie, decompress, they wouldn't
Yeah.
be so uptight. We are
Yeah.
seeing suicide at an all-time rate right now. We are seeing, and I hate to talk about it, mothers who are taking the lives of their children
Postpartum. Real.
We're seeing family harming other family members, and things like that. And it's very unfortunate. But if you understand the history and how it is self-prevailing right now, we're only in year 310, and it was expected to last to year 350, then you'll understand that we are the generation. I'm not talking about millennials. I'm talking about every single person on here that has breath in their body. That's from the baby boomers to the generational Zers. Like, if you have breath in your body, you are responsible for breaking the curse.
Not my shirt say, perhaps you were created for a time such as this. I'm just saying.
Confirmation.
Not that's what my shirt say.
That's the shirt. You have to sit up to show the people the shirt because we can't see the shirt.
Oh, look, perhaps you greater. What's that scripture? Esther. Is that Esther 4:14? That's it.
Yes.
Esther 4:14.
You better
created for a time
right?
such as this. I wanna give us a break, like a breathing break, because man, right? Fire, okay, y'all. The comments, the reactions, the people have been like that part, that part, that part, that part. So thank you for opening up in such a way that deals with the very initial thing, and that's your mindset. And thank you for opening it up with a resource, right? A real tool that speaks to the fact that we ain't just having a conversation about stuff. It is written, right? This thing was written 1712, and reading is fundamental.
It is.
There's so much that we need to know that we have access to, but we won't access. You know what I'm saying? And so, and even that is a mindset, right?
That's good. I like that.
We now have access to things that we won't access, and that's still holding us back. That's right. Still holding us back. So I appreciate the fire that we came in here with. Okay. So if y'all have any questions, again, go ahead and put those in the comments. Because y'all already see what we're working with, right? You already know the energy, the fire, and all that. I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all? Look, Coach BJ dropping the fire. I told y'all when I made the post, the fire, and I got this on a discovery call. Because when it's in you, it's gonna come out of you. And I appreciate, the fact that God gets the glory in it. So I just wanted to make sure I put that break in there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yes, right?
Do your thing.
Him, right?
Yes,
right? We don't do nothing
indeed.
without recognizing him, right? Because I wouldn't be where I am today without God, and I thank God for being God, right? But just going back to the current events that's taking place today, right? We have a lot of social media influencers, right? It's so heavily pumped in our community. It's funny, my husband actually comes from a music background as well, right? And hip hop is so relevant in our community. And hip hop heavily influences our culture, our money, the way that we dress, even the way that we act, right? Our relationships, marriages in the Black community, all of that, pretty much everything in the United States today is heavily influenced by hip hop, right? If you pay attention to the Coca-Cola, the Pepsi commercials, and everything, y'all, it's just random stuff. And they got rappers on there. They're making rap songs like
all on the chip bag.
It's just off the chain. I mean, like, just a few months, like right when I moved to Houston, I remember y'all in a panty, like literally, like the fast food restaurants had like female rappers like endorsing it. They had Meg the Stallion, with Popeyes with the hottie sauce.
Yeah.
And then there was somebody else, like Sweetie was, I think she was endorsed
McDonald's, I think. Yeah.
Girl, and so I was like, nah, when you look at this, okay? Yeah. But see, what you have to understand is the power that we possess. We possess a power that we allow people to, I don't know what to call it. Like, we allow people to pull from, I guess. Like, we don't even use it to our benefit, to benefit our family and our community, right? And so I said all that to say, right, because it is Life Insurance Awareness Month. I want to be mindful of time because I can go in, okay? I can really, really go in, right? But if we're going to talk about breaking generational curses, then we have to understand, number one, that one of the main curses that's taking place in our community is the financial shackles.
It is. It
See,
is.
when they removed the physical shackles from us, it was replaced with the financial shackles, right?
Yep.
And so a lot of people in our community are misinformed when it comes down to money, right? Um, I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it's a predominantly black city, and well, it's a gumbo city, to be totally honest, right? But New Orleans wasn't necessarily based on race. It was more so of a classism thing, because you had black people in hood, and you had the middle class, and then you had the upper echelon, who are
Mm-hmm.
normally politicians or kids of politicians and things like that, right? And it was in that moment when I moved back home from college that I realized that I could not continue this cycle another generation. See, it was in that moment when I birthed a black boy in America that I understood that he couldn't grow up in the same environment that I did
That's
and
it.
get out the way that I did, right? So, we had to make a change. Me and my husband decided to make a change. And it was in that moment we decided to go in business together. If you look at the average family, is divided, like a cross, like Jesus on a cross, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crucified,
Mm-hmm.
crucified a black family, right? And how do we do
Wow.
that? How they do that is it's the corporate agenda. It's the capitalism agenda, right? Is that today's economy is taking both the male and the female, and it's forcing us to go in separate locations to make a living. It takes two income to run a household in America today. So if we could crucify the family, then we kill the generation that comes after them, right?
Yeah.
And
That
so how
gave
do
me
we fix
chills,
that?
Jovanna.
Ooh, I caught chills too. I caught chills. I ain't gonna lie, I caught chills too, baby. That
That.
was real. But we crucify the family because of the lack of knowledge. And so even in the Willie Lynch letter, they talk about, okay, well, we could keep this going for another 50 years if we implement it in schools, right? So that means the remedy is to start teaching it to our kids. You referenced it early on, as soon as we got on the live, that we have to start putting our kids at the table when we having money conversations, whether it's good or
Absolutely.
bad. Because
Absolutely.
see, in order for you to build a financially resilient individual,
Yeah.
it's the same way you build a spiritually resilient individual, a physically resilient individual. They have to take on some blows. So the average family, they want to hide the struggle from their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And see, this is
Mm-hmm.
why this next generation is growing up with an entitlement spirit, because our generation, and yeah, I'm gonna say our generation, right? We giving our kids the things we didn't have, but we not
Mm-hmm.
teaching them the things that we did not know.
That's
And it
it.
starts with education. See, we're leaning on the teachers and the educators at the school solely to train our children up in a way that they should go. But the Bible said that you are the steward of your kids and you train them up
That's
the
it.
way in which they should go. So if I understand that I have a son and a daughter, and it's a possibility that they're going to be fruitful and multiply and have dominion over this earth, how can they have dominion and dominate if they do not have the education? They don't know where to go. They don't know where to find the resources. They're getting their financial literacy and their financial education from social media influencers.
Jesus.
Why are you not having a conversation? It's bigger than budgeting. It's bigger than credit. When I sit down with about 70% of our people, the number one thing they ask is, do you specialize in credit?
Mm-hmm.
Credit is not wealth.
It's not.
I hate to yell, but I had to yell. See, the problem with our community today is that the average person is not money motivated. They are debt motivated. See, the average person in our community, they go for the house and the cars because they want to flex on their peers. They want to say,
Mm-hmm.
look, I made it,
Mm-hmm.
Marquita. Look, I know we used to shoot marbles in the sandbox together, but girl, look at my
Look at me now.
two-story home. Look at me
Wow.
now. Look at my, and I'm not shunning none of that because, I wear it, so I wear the design and stuff too, but I'm not going above my budget to impress nobody to do it either. Right? But
Yep.
people go get the house in the car so they can have the social events to say, look at me now. I made it, I arrived. See, people who are money motivated, right? They are structured. They tell their money where to go.
Yeah.
Their money doesn't tell them where to go.
That's it. That's it.
See, the average person said, "They your money, tell you where to go." Because if it ain't in an account, you ain't going. You're not going to take that trip, honey.
You ain't
Like, you're
going
not going to get
nowhere.
that steak. You're
Ain't
not
going
going,
nowhere.
girl, I don't know. What's the name of that place that everybody be going to, the little meat place? I cut back on eating meat, so I haven't been there yet. Benihana's or whatever. You're not going to Benihana's, sis. Like, you're not going to Fleming's Steakhouse. That's where you're
And no
not going.
Morton's
You're
for
not going
you.
to get the, you're not going to see Salt Bay and get the gold flakes on your steak. You're going to Walmart.
You're going to Walmart.
You're going to put it on the grill yourself. You getting instant mashed potatoes. You're not eating puree mashed potatoes. Stop it. Because you're not telling your money where to go.
You ain't telling your money where to go.
You're not telling your money where to go is simple. Well, it's a few reasons. Number one, you lack the financial education.
Yeah.
Secondly,
so true.
You lack the financial discipline. Thirdly, you're in a competition with you versus them instead of you versus you. See, when God created you, he put you on this earth and you alone. Even if you were born a twin, y'all came out separately. Nobody came out of the vaginal canal together. Two heads never came through the portal of life together. It was one-on-one. So it should always be you versus you. You have to be becoming a better version of you. And that includes your money and your mental. If you're triggered, what triggered me? Why am I angry about this? What energy or spirit came into my realm?
Mm-hmm.
It made, it festered something up on the inside of me. Remove it. If you're constantly in poverty, if you're constantly dealing with financial bondages, remove it. It's a pattern. Just pay attention. Pay attention, right? And I'm going somewhere else with that, right? But it starts with the foundation, man. It starts, number one, with getting a financial education. So stop listening to the influencers. Stop telling people, letting people tell you can own your own bank, infinite banking, and all that other kind of stuff. Next time somebody tell you, ask them, how much is it going to cost me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like
and you're
going
to realize that ain't even in me class. That's not even in your neighborhood, boo. That's not in your parkway. Stay in your lane.
And that's okay.
And get to your destination.
Stay in your lane. That's it.
Your
Stay
lane
in your
is
lane.
just fine. It was created for you. It was created for you. It was not created for them. Understand that, right? Secondly, right, it's okay to have nice things, but not at a major price. Start shopping on a discount. Shop on a discount. Like, who does not love a sale at TJ Maxx or Ross or Saks? Whatever. Like, shop on a budget. And then that brings me to my next point. Saving your money is not enough. You got to start investing.
Yeah. Got to start investing.
Saving your money is sticking your money in a mattress like Grandma used to do. That's mattress money. Investing your money is your money working for you. Your money can't work for you if it's stuck under a mattress. You have to start investing. Investing your money outside of your life insurance. Point number 3, your life insurance and your investment should never be together. They are two separate entities. Your life insurance is if in the event you die. Your savings, aka your investment, is if in the event you live, aka outlive your retirement. You want to have something that you control both of them, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I preach until I'm blue in the face, term until the day I die. And people say, Jovanna, well, what happened when my term is over? Well, you're self-insured. If you sat down with a professional like myself,
you're good.
Yep. See, my good rule of thumb is $6 a day will keep the poverty away. You probably saying $6 a day. Yeah, $6 a day keeps the poverty away. See, write this down. You should be spending about $3 a day towards your life insurance. Okay, $3 a day on life insurance. Okay, well, Jovanna, I don't have the money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Do you go and eat fast food? Do you eat Starbucks? Do you get your nails done, your lashes? What kind of clothes are you wearing? Like, are you just shut the club down site? I got shut the club down. Like, are you that site? Like, are you buying based on trends or? Come on, like, let's
you got that $6 into
consideration. You got $6, right? But we just gonna start with 3. We gonna start with starting the night, right? We start with the foundation. So $3 a day for a person who's about 35 years old, $3 a day, non-tobacco nicotine, let's say they're healthy, all things considered, get you about $300,000 in life insurance coverage today. With inflation where it is, $3 a day gets you about $300,000 in coverage if you're a 35-year-old, right? Obviously, age and health comes into play, right? Boom. So that's the first three. The other $3 a day is going towards a savings account. And so somebody said, Jovanna, well, I have the life insurance. What happens when my term is up, when you're self-insured? See, life insurance is not for burial purposes. Life insurance is created, if you go look up, I mean, like if you go to Investopedia and get the actual definition, to create an immediate estate. It's a risk tolerance. It's a bumper, okay? So life insurance is, God, let's say, I'll use the example of me and my husband, right? Let's say, God forbid, we bring in $30,000 a year each. We have 2 kids, right? Experts say that you should have at least 10 times the amount of your annual income in life insurance coverage, especially if you have dependent kids, right? So, God forbid, if I drop dead today or tomorrow, I bring in $30,000 a year, I should at least leave behind $300,000 in coverage. Why should I leave behind $300,000 in coverage, Jovanna? So that my kids can have the same standard of living or better. If I bring in $30,000 a year and I leave $300,000 in coverage, that means my husband has at least 10 years to grieve properly. 10 years.
Wow.
To stack some more money. 10 years so the kids don't have to downsize or we move back in the hood, right? Move in a project, or go run to another woman because he needs a stepmama who could bring in another income and then treat my kids any old kind of way. Ooh. Or from a male standpoint, you bring in 30,000, right? I know y'all big balling and y'all bringing more than 30,000, right?
Like 30, that's
30,000, right? Right? But let's say he's bringing in 30,000, right? And God forbid, the very last time I saw my husband, he ran to the 7-Eleven, got in a car accident, was the very last time I ever see him again. So now I'm a widow, right? My children are fatherless. And if I didn't do it right and I didn't sit down with a professional that educated me about my money so no one can ever take advantage of me, right? So no one, you get the education so nobody can ever come behind me and try to fast talk you. Okay?
Right.
So with that being said, now he dropped dead. I'm a widow. The last thing I'm thinking about is going to get a job. I need to grieve in peace. I need these bills to still be paid while I figure out what I'm going to do in my life, because debt is inevitable. We all know our birthday, but none of us know our debt date.
Amen.
Again, so then that brings on situational anxiety, not clinical. My money is funny, so my anxiety gets to acting up. That could have been solved by sitting down with a financial professional and getting a foundation in place. Okay? All right, next. We're moving along, right? So let's say we grow old together, right? We grow old together and it's 35 years later. We 70, we still kicking it, right? Well, it's time for renewal on my policy. Because some people said, don't get no term because it's going to end. And my rep or my agent come and sit down with me and they say, hey, Jovanna, hey, Rhett, right? Your term policy is now up. You have 4 options. You can renew it, right? Where, look, your premium cost is going to be based on age, right? And inflation. So obviously it's going to be higher because 35 years from now, the cost of living ain't going to be the same, right? Or you can have that thing decrease because your kids are adults now. They're not they're not dependent on your income no more. They self-sufficient, right? Or, you could do an annual renewable, or you could just get rid of it. Because remember, when I sat down with you 35 years ago, we set up that investment. And you guys did $3 a day each. And so now you both have $300,000 each. So now you're sitting on $600,000 in cash, right?
Wow.
We talking $90 a month. See, that's why you need to sit down with a financial professional, someone who's licensed and certified, not a TikTok influencer, not your neighborhood rapper or trapper. Look, Marquita, if I'm sick, I'm not going to my uncle who's a mechanic.
Right.
He could help a car if it's sick, but he can't help me. I'm going to the doctor. I need a diagnosis from the doctor. So if I'm financially
not Uncle
sick,
Joe.
not Uncle Joe, not Uncle Leroy, who talk with the cigarette hanging out his mouth and he never falls out. Okay?
That's the
I'm going
only
to the
skill he got
doctor.
too. Going
That's
to the
it.
doctor. Oh my
Right?
God. I'm so
But
glad
why?
you put this
Yeah,
together like this, right? I'm glad
yeah.
you put all of this stuff together the way that you have. The spiritual part, the family part, the history, like all. And I'm gonna tell you this. I've never heard it like this. I've
Hmm.
never heard it like this. When I tell you it makes sense now,
Yeah,
it makes sense.
it
It
does.
makes sense.
It does. But the only thing that's missing, Marquita, is the education. See, I
Yeah.
always tell people, look, you don't know nothing about nothing when it comes down to your money until you meet a me. I'm that confident, and I'm not to my own horn for two. And it's not because I woke up like this. I ain't Beyonce. I studied to show myself approved, because that's
Amen.
Bible. Okay,
Amen.
why they look? I did what they didn't, right? So I could get what they don't have. Okay, because see, in order to break the generational curses, you have to first go to the source. The source is the thinking. So look, if I want to fix my money, then I have to change the way that I think about money.
Yeah.
So many people are misinformed when it comes down to their money, but the foundation. Because see, if we go in Life Insurance Awareness Month, we gonna talk about the foundation. The foundation is life insurance. That is not a burial policy. And people say, Jovanna, well, look, we already got a plot. I did a segment on this on Instagram like last year sometime. See, that's the biggest plot you ever gonna face. Buying a doggone plot. See, they plotting on you. Look, not to leave well to your kids. They plotting on you not to break generational curses. They plotting on you not to read the fine print. So you can go ahead and get a plot, and you fell for the biggest plot when it comes
Wow.
down to breaking generational curses. Or you can sit down with a professional who's licensed and certified. Y'all could go look me up. I'm licensed in a lot of states, right? But my resident state is the state of Texas. Y'all go look up Jovanna Hamilton. I am on CRD. I don't know my CRD number by heart, right? But that's my broker number. But you can just type in my name and it'll let you know how long I've been in the industry. I've been in the industry going on about a decade now. And our goal is, look, I promise you, our goal is to keep educating families, keep economically empowering families, right? Until we don't have breath in our body, right? See, within the last year, oh, I don't want to get the number wrong. My husband is on the live. I want to say we put, oh Lord, it was a lot of millions. A lot of millions, y'all. Like, oh
Wow.
my God. A lot of millions worth of life insurance back into the Black community. And that felt so good. And if ever you want to be successful, your success is always tied to the amount of people that you help and the amount of people that you serve. And what better platform than to be in the money industry, because it's the foundation of all things in America.
Yes.
You know, did
Yes.
you know that the average divorce ends because of money? It's not because of infidelity.
Yep.
It's not even from a spiritual standpoint, it's not even that, because if they compromise, right, it was 42 million year to date worth of life insurance in a Black community. Do you know what that means? That means if my clients dropped a pandemic sweeps all of my clients, $42 million goes back into the Black community. And I didn't single-handedly do it. We put a team in place. That's why we're going
Yeah.
to keep educating people. We're going to keep putting people on, keep putting people in a position to get their own companies. Like, look, if you can pass the background check, you looking and you really want to serve in your community, look, DM me, right? You can text me 504-500-8931 and just text mental so I can know you on this line.
That's it. That's
Text the
it.
word mental, right? And if you guys are looking, right, and then I'll even post my calendar link so you guys can see how to reach me if you want to get a free consultation. Free. And here's another thing. Let me touch on free, right? I don't know what it is, Marquita, right? Look, I don't. Oh, how can I? Oh man, I may step on some toes, but I promise you, I'm not gonna break it, right? Like I said earlier, the last decade, y'all, everybody been on this whole generational wealth kick, right? But who's gonna teach you without going into your pocket,
Talk
right?
about it.
We're talking about the basics, right, and complementary tools, but I don't know what it is when it comes down to our people. When they hear free, y'all, it is an attractive to us. Why
They think
is
it's
that?
of no value.
Can y'all tell me in the comments why when there's a food drive you don't show up? and your kids are hungry,
Mm.
there's a toy drive, and you put in double shifts, and you won't even pull up and get your kids some toys? Why is it that when somebody in your family has hand-me-downs, you don't take it? Y'all, even God don't deal with a prideful man or a woman. I'm trying to help y'all out. I ain't saying you got to be shopping at the thrift store and taking people hand-me-downs and all of that. But I'm saying that if education and tools to wealth is free, right? If you want access, all you got to do is ask us. I put a spin on that, Marquita. Ask us.
Look, I see what you did there.
Y'all get it? Y'all, I kid a lot, but I'm serious about it, man. Look, I don't know what it is when we see free, because if I get on live and I go on my social media platforms and I put this same snippet out, this same live, this same information, and I say, hey guys, I'm gonna do a master class. Stay tuned. Link is in my bio, and I give you this same snippet with this same information. You willing to pay me $400 for the information? But if I say it's free, you won't even show up to the class. Come on, somebody. Drop the mic. Look, if I put on a master class and I charge $1,000 a head,
it's full.
It's full. But I tell you it's free. Oh, it's too good to be true. Man, have you ever thought life is too bad to be true? Man, start taking your blessings. See, a lot of people pray for things, right? See, this is the type of generation of people we are, right? All of us won't lavish, right? We pray for that 3-tier finding cake with the sprinkles and the confetti and the streamers coming out of that and all that, right? And God delivers it to you in a DoorDash bag. A brown paper bag with flour, with cake, with butter, with a mixer. He even gets, look, he even Amazon Prime the conventional oven for you to make the cake, but you don't want to put in no work.
Not the right work anyway.
You know that part, right? But I'm gonna help y'all out anyway. If you guys want free tools, if you want to set up a free consultation, y'all can hit me up in my DM at any time, right? I know social media, we're in an awkward state, right? And I don't know why they call this thing social media. Because people really have gotten away from being social. I'm being so honest. Like, this era is turning everybody into introvert, scared to talk to people. When people have human interaction and things like that, you running from the person. If you see me on Marquita on a live and you see us in the grocery store, you turn down the other aisle. I don't want that girl to see me. I don't want her to say hey. Like, come on now. We're no Jeffrey Dahmers, man. We just have information.
Not at all.
Tools. And right, we ain't here to eat you, right? Information and tools to help you guys get on the right track financially, man. Because there was a study a few years ago, probably like when I first got into the industry, and it said that the African American network would be down to 0 by 2050.
Jesus.
Y'all, it's 2022.
We got work to do.
Time is not on our side.
We got work to do.
If you want to make a change, you have to go out there and get the job done for you and your family. You have to put one foot in front of the other. Seek the knowledge, seek the wisdom, get with professionals, and get the job done, man. And then you can help, make an impact on your community and change this whole mental health pandemic that's going on, because that's the real pandemic or epidemic that's going on in our community, man. If we can fix that, we can eliminate the homicide, we can eliminate the suicide, we can get the help, we can pay for the therapist and the psychologist, and we can put things in the community to uplift one another, man. Let's make a difference, man. Let's make it happen. Let's connect, because there is power in connection, man. Absolutely. Let's reverse this whole Willie Lynch making of a slave thing, man. Because look, it's just like this, and I'm gonna leave it with this, and I'm gonna shut up for Marquita, right? You either master your money, or it's gonna master you. It's gonna master you, and you're gonna become a slave to it.
That's it.
That's all I got. That's what I got, y'all. That's what I got.
Listen, first of all, let me gather myself, right? I'm telling you, this has been so good. And the least amount of work I've had to do in a minute, and I'm okay with that. I've just been like, yes, go ahead, good. And that's what happens.
The right one on this live. Let me tell y'all something. I agree, Miss Betty. Absolutely. Let's come together.
Oh yeah, we have to do this together. And again, that's what That's what this was built on, you know, and like you
It's
said, for
power and
free.
connection.
Some people have asked, like, do I charge for this or do I get paid to do this? I don't get not one penny every Monday that I show up
Mhm.
here, not one
Mhm.
penny. But I
Absolutely.
appreciate the connections. I appreciate being able to share the information, because when you do
Yeah.
that and people become empowered, it'll come back. It'll come back.
Absolutely.
You know, and I
10,
have I
30,
have
a
other
100 time
gifts.
fold.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it. Trust in the
Absolutely.
process. So,
Yeah.
man, I don't even know if they have any questions. They probably just over there like mine, just doing like this, just to
I'm telling
process all
you.
this good stuff they done
You
heard.
know,
So,
if y'all have questions,
absolutely.
definitely drop them in the y'all drop them in the comments, man. That's what we're here for. You know,
Yeah.
I thought about something as you were just speaking, you know, whenever, you know, no time is time wasted. Let me say that. Unless you waste time. And you
Mm,
probably saying, well, how does that make sense? Because everything that we go through in life is an experience.
mm-hmm,
Every
mm-hmm.
person that we bump into is not by coincidence. It was, you know, I mean, it's not by chance, it's not by coincidence. It was by divine intervention. You know, so whenever whomever tagged me in his post, you know, I always say this, one of the ways I heal whenever I'm dealing with situational stress, um, you know, um, with okay, I'm sorry, let me answer this question from Miss Betty. Miss Betty said, with no kids, how much life insurance should you have? Um,
Mm,
it depends. It depends on a few things, the amount of debt that you're leaving behind. Because just because you don't have kids, well, you may not have kids or someone doesn't have kids, we always look at the amount of debt that they incur that they'll leave behind, because debt doesn't disappear. It is passed down, okay, like a generational curse. It's
that's
passed
what.
up or passed down, right? It could be passed up to a parent. It could be passed to the side to a spouse. It could be passed down to kids, depending on what it is, right? Also, if there's a mortgage being left behind, if there's a will or a trust, you know, if they're leaving it to a state, all those things come into play when talking about life insurance, because life insurance is to replace the income. But then we have other factors that we keep in, like debt, 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 DEACH, income, right? It's income replacement, mortgage, and if you want to fund education, right? And if you want to check off all those boxes, and then after we do all of that, we figure out how much can you afford, right? Good or bad money. How much can you afford? And we put those components into play. And there's no one size fits all when it comes down to life insurance. That's why I don't know why the people be knocking on grandma on dough and slinging everybody $20,000 and $50,000 policies. Everybody's not a
Yes.
$20,000 and $50,000 woman or man. That
Right,
means you bring
right.
in $2,000 and $5,000 a year. Don't nobody. Nobody bringing no $2,000 and $5,000 a year, and you're gonna leave them people churn with that money. The average cost of a funeral today is $20,000. You leave
Wow.
a $20,000 policy. All you did, look,
Cover the
was
funeral.
that's it. You paid for the funeral. No, all you did was make sure the next generation got to get it out the mud instead of getting it out the boat. I don't know why we pride ourselves on this get it out the mud. I had to get it out the mud, so they gonna get it out the mud. Man, don't be silly. God made you a steward over those kids.
That's it. Golly,
Why
that's
do
it.
you go to work? You like we don't wake up, work, and die to pay bills. Like no, we're supposed to be stewarding, okay? Like I'm gonna leave it there because we're gonna be here another hour if I get into it, okay? If I get into it, y'all gonna say it's
Listen,
Monday. This
it's
girl here,
Monday. Girl, I listen, after
this
the weekend
lady
I
here.
had, I appreciate this fire. I
Did you
appreciate everything
hydrate?
about
Look,
it.
I'm drinking water for you, my girl.
Oh, girl.
No, I
Hydration,
can't.
sleep,
I have a
everything.
toddler. I have a toddler, so I can't help you with the rest. I can't rest for you. I ain't got none
Look,
of that for you, baby, with
I
that
got
girl.
plenty of it today. That's why I'm sitting here. My friend was like, I don't know how you do it. I was like, listen, thank God for the Holy
Listen,
Spirit because I don't
listen.
either.
I'm telling
But
you, if it
this
wasn't for
has
the
been
blood.
so good. This has been so on time. This has been, oh my God. The people are even asking for a part two. And you know, listen, when they ask for the part two, I'll be
It's
finding
all
ways to get a
good.
part two.
It's all
Uh,
good.
but I was writing notes here today. on how to make this thing happen in a different way for a part two. So it's definitely going to be another space for us to create so that we can.
Absolutely.
And again, I've been in this
Thank
space.
you.
I ain't never heard it like this, Jovanna. Like, I'm over here now probably about to be like, hey, call my upline and be like, you know what? I was playing all them years. Let me go and get myself together. You know what I'm saying? Let me go and get myself together because now I see.
We gotta wait. I mean, let me tell y'all something. When I got introduced, in my field, in my industry, and coming from the medical field, and I remember going to, like, they had like it was called Encounter at my church. Encounter weekend, and you have an encounter with guys, like it's a full weekend event and stuff like that. And I remember there was a guy who came from overseas, and he was talking about, people build successful businesses based on their calling. And I remember going home that night praying, asking God, because I was playing, with my business. When he sent me here, look, I looked at that DoorDash bag and that cake and them eggs, and I said, I ain't through there. I'm hiding in this kitchen. I'm getting out of here. Like, I don't want to be in here. I want the cake. Give me the 3-tier fry, the cake with the sprinkles and all that, right? And so I remember going home, even with already having it, even already getting a call, even already answering it and saying yes to it, right? And I remember going home and had the audacity to ask my Heavenly Father. I don't know how you and yours get down, but mine would chastise me real quick, right? And I said, God,
won't he will?
Won't he do it? I said, what is it that you have for me? Send me something to call my own. I'm talking about asking the same prayer that I prayed when he gave it to me, right? What is it? What's the business I'm supposed to be doing? Y'all, and he told me, girl, if you don't go back to your business, because he talks to you how you talk to you, right?
Thank
you hear him.
Thank you.
He said, girl, if you don't go back to your business, I said, God, what business?
No.
He said, that's your ministry. Because when we get things in the infant state, one of the things that the enemy do, see, the only way the enemy can't tussle with a beast. He can't tussle with somebody the same size as him. See, he prey on the weak. He prey on the young. He prey on the infant, right? He prey on the frail, right? But see, when you full grown in the spirit, he can't tussle with you. And see, the only way he can choke it out of you is in the infant state. See, y'all about to have me preaching again, right? He can only choke it out in the infant state. And he caught me slipping as a toddler, Marquita.
I understand.
And I started looking at it and I said, man, this ain't for me. This ain't, whatever. Like, I was about to go back to school, like all these different type of things. And he said, that's your ministry. So, honey, when you say you got another calling, let me help you. I answered the call on purpose, okay? Because, see, once he chastised me and he got me right, okay, I said, okay, God, I get it. Let me go ahead and move. And see, it was, for me, it was bigger than money. Yes, we get paid nicely, and I thank God for that, right? In this industry, but I'm not in this industry for profit. I'm here because I'm changing lives, because we're changing lives, because I can put more people in a position to do the same thing generation after generation. I'm here because I can leave an inheritance for my children's children. See, this is something I could pass down to my son.
Exactly.
He ain't got to get it out the money. He could get it out the vault. I couldn't pass my job down to him. And see, if God decided to call me home before I think, it's time to come home, then my kids won't have to prematurely figure life out on their own.
Ooh, wait.
So with that being said,
Yeah. Listen, this part two, we're gonna have to be in a room, like, right? Because the energy, the fire, like, you got to be in the room, in the space, and close the door and let that thing work.
We gotta get
flued out. This some flued outness right here. 2023, this some flued outness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to. Wow. Yep. Wow. Listen, this ain't the insurance man, y'all. You ain't gotta block the number. You ain't gotta close the door. You ain't gotta ignore the DM or the post. Listen, this ain't that. Y'all heard what it is. And I know some people have had very, very negative experiences with insurance people or just insurance itself. But you heard it here tonight. You heard the real here tonight. And that was one of the reasons. After talking to her, I was like, nah, you gotta come. Like, we got to find some space. And I'm telling you, it opened up so divinely. I was like, September 26th is yours.
Yeah.
It's yours.
You did.
So
you said
I'm
that.
so, I soon as I got off the phone, I was like, let me, this got to work. And it worked out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
things are divine and things are how they're supposed to be. Jovanna, girl, thank you. Right.
You're
Thank you. And
welcome.
whoever tagged her in my post and put her in this space, and it might have been Joy. Whoever did it, thank you. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Houston
Yeah.
ain't that far. When I'm up that way again, we'll have to sit
Yeah.
down somewhere
We
and
could meet
eat
at home. We
something.
could meet in the middle. You know,
See
we
what I'm
could,
saying,
when I
y'all?
go home, we could meet.
See what I'm saying? And see, that's why I said when people be like, I don't like people, I don't like people, y'all better stop. Y'all gotta stop with that. I don't like people.
You can't operate in the kingdom of
You
God without
cannot.
people. It's
Thank you.
illegal for the spirit to be on this earth unless it's through a vessel of a man or a woman. So with that being said, you're gonna have to start liking people. Your blessings is gonna come through a man or a woman. Let me help you out. I'm about to free y'all tonight. So, but again, that went to the, that's the Willie Lynch, y'all. That's the Willie Lynch. It's a self-prevailing, prophecy that went on. It was strategic. It's still happening. And that's why, we dealing with what we dealing with, man. But God is good,
Oh,
you know. And he said the last shall be first and the first shall be last.
that's what he
So let's
said.
get it on.
Let's
Y'all
get
got to
it.
start stepping into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into
Everybody
it.
finna start selling some insurance now, baby. We all in there. We all are finna
But
be
if you
professionals and
decide
agents.
to, we are expanding virtually. If you want to work virtually, I got you, right? Licenses and training is paid for. Just hit me up and I'm going to let y'all know my number again is 504-589-31. Just text mental and let me know what y'all into. And I'll also drop my calendar link in there as well, Marquita, if that's okay with you. If people want
Oh,
to schedule their
absolutely.
consult.
Absolutely. You've already done what the ending part usually looked like, where I give you an opportunity to tell people how to connect with you and get
Girl,
the resources. So we
won't he
listen.
do it?
I already knew. Look, God knows, like the
Yes,
energy
Lord.
that came through here, and all I had to do was just be a part of it. He knew that was the type of Monday I needed today. So it all
Girl,
worked out. It all worked out. But
amen.
I am absolutely grateful, elated to be connected to you, number one. Okay. To
Yes,
be connected to you, and then for you to have come into this space
likewise.
and shared the way that you have shared from all the places that you've shared into. May it return to you 100-fold. Like the word will not return
Appreciate
void.
that.
So thank God for your presence and what you and your husband do on this great
We
earth. So
appreciate that.
absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and release you back to your family. Say, your husband, thank you for letting us have you for this time
Absolutely. And
and
thank you for
sharing.
allowing God to use you and your platform and you answering the call because without it, we wouldn't be here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. You're
My
very
social
welcome.
media information, y'all,
Yes.
is on here on Facebook. It is Jovanna Hamilton. Y'all just go and tag it. But I do have an Instagram. I am not active on my Instagram, but my Instagram is the_wealthy wife. The_wealthy wife. I am the wealthy wife. That's my alias. That's what I go by. I am she.
Listen, first of all, thank you for that. I was just
Yes.
talking, me and my friend was just talking about that. When we touched that relationship thing. And I was so glad
Yeah.
each time you brought that thing together about family. And like I
Yeah.
said, it gave me
I'm an
chills.
advocate for
I'm an
so many of
advocate
us
for
come from
families.
broken homes. Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
We're
That's
better
correct, Miss
together.
Taylor.
We're much better
Then we
together.
are apart.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got to get it
Absolutely.
together, girls and guys.
We love
Let's
to
have a
see it.
conversation. Like,
We love
you
to
know,
see it.
talk about it. So
Absolutely.
thank you for being in this space. I'll be in contact because,
Of
we
course.
got to figure out how to get this thing live
Yeah.
and in person.
Yeah.
Okay. But y'all have her contact information. You have the phone number. You have a social media. She's tagged in this post and the post from yesterday. Go ahead and add her as a friend, follow her, whatever you need to do on the social media so that you can get what you
Absolutely.
and your family need. All right. I don't think they have any more questions, honey. They've been in it. Thank you so much
Awesome.
for a
God
great
bless you
night.
guys. Y'all
All
have a
right.
wonderful night.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Marquita.
You're welcome, honey.
You keep being a light, my girl.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep
Thank you.
shining. Good night, y'all.
Good night. I think I don't know how to.
Me either. Now you do this. Now you
This is the
put this
first
on the
time.
blooper.
Okay, I see it. That was the first time it didn't want to let her go. Look at it. The thing when didn't even want to let her go because that's how good it was, y'all. I'm just blown, right? This is what the light room is, right? This is what this space is for. Like she said, I answered the call. I said, God, let me create a safe space, right? A resourceful space. Because even working in workforce development and in the professional corporate space, I'm in meetings with other people about meetings, and nobody's involving the people who need the resources that we keep meeting about. And I'm like, well, I talk to the people and then I talk to the professionals who have the resources. Why aren't the two coming together? And so this opportunity to connect people to the resources that will enhance their lives. When I was writing it and saying in my job interviews and my resumes, I thought it was something else. But God knew it would be exactly this. And guess what? You get this for free. Like what she just told y'all, what she just shared with y'all, that could have cost you easily a couple $100 or a couple $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was free. It was from the heart. Like if you were on here, I know you felt it, right? Powerful woman of God, and that's what it is. So I ain't gonna even tarry with it because it's been good. And Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month, September, Life Insurance Awareness Month. You got a different, hopefully this cleaned up some of that insurance stuff because I get it, right? I get it. And if you've ever thought about it, it ain't for everybody to be an agent, but wherever you can be a resource, either connecting people to Jovanna and her husband or other or other agents that you know, like take care of your family even when you're gone. Like the fact that we need to know what insurance is actually for and how it's a replacement of income when you're no longer there. So your family don't have to, man, that was so good. Now you don't have to go out and get into an unhealthy relationship for you and your children because your spouse left y'all well enough where life didn't have to change so drastically for y'all. Man, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. This has been Mental Health Monday. Thank you all who have joined in. If this was your first time, I hope it is not your last time. That closed up the literacy part where we were talking about it. Next month, we're going to have people who are experts in certain fields. We're going to talk about housing, like housing development. We're going to talk about real estate, like for those who want to buy a house, owning a home. We're going to talk about insurance. No, now, the way this one ended, October is going to end the same way, and I'm so excited for him, and it's going to be a couple. So I'm so excited for him and his wife to come on here and share from that powerful space, man. Listen, these discovery calls with these individuals, getting to know them and seeing the work that they do, how they do it, why they do it. They're Black, they're young, they're passionate, they're God's people, right? Listen to how she put all that together. Like she made the word of God make sense and applicable now. You know what I'm saying? We love what Moses and them had to do, but to hear it be applicable for you and your family now, come on, man. So October is gonna be good. I'm glad I hope you've enjoyed September. I hope you've taken away the things that you needed, budgeting, financing, planning. And she said something real important. No, don't take the back. She said something real important. Sit down with a professional coach or an advisor, right? I know TikTok do be dropping some nuggets here, there, people. You don't know them people, right? You don't know, and spirits are real, energies is real, all that stuff is real. Sit down with somebody who has gone and gotten the training, who is certified, whose passion and calling is to help you and your family have a better life. So she left her information, reach out to her, make sure you put mental so she'll know you came from the light room, and get your family protected, man. And if you're looking for a new path in life, I ain't gonna say extra income because even in that, but if you're looking for something different, definitely consider becoming an agent. This has been Mental Health Monday. I am Marquita Dorsey. Rest well tonight. Okay. Yeah, her information. So that's her phone. Her phone number is in there. And again, you can become friends with her from this comment and from the page. But rest well tonight. Rest in knowing that God is for you and the people that He's placed on the earth that you can, properly discern, they're for you too. All right. I love y'all. Oh, wait, before I close, Shaw, Mississippi, right? Shawtown. I know I made a post like 2 times, but listen, to go home and have things go the way that they went this past weekend. Thank you to every person that stopped me on the walking trail or that came to the actual event to speak life into me. Y'all just don't know how much it meant. People were saying that I don't say nothing, but I be on your lives every Monday, or I catch the replay. Like, listen, I'm telling y'all, it helps me to keep going, because there are some Mondays I'm like, you're just talking to yourself and your mama, because my mama gonna be on here. But there are people who are listening, and I pray that you're continuously being impacted. Don't just sit on the knowledge, y'all. Applied knowledge is power. Take what you learn from these people who have given this to you freely, from their hearts, from their profession. Take it, build yourself up. Read the Willie Lynch letter, okay? So we can start making changes. I love y'all. Good night.